Here are the stories for this video. As always, don't forget to share and like if you enjoy these videos. Without further ado, here we go! Request denied. I work in a moderately sized company where we have both internal employees and contractors at client sites. My job is about what you would expect: fix issues as they come in, image and set up machines, and deal with standard BS mixed in. I've been there for a few years now and have some great stories. This one comes from the beginning of the year when a new user thought he could game the system for a better machine. We are about a 50-50 split in PCs and MacBooks. The machines that each user gets are very similar in specs. The determination of what machine they get is based on the client and their position. Of course, PC users who don't like PCs will do what they can to get a MacBook, only to get denied. We also get MacBook users who want upgrades to a newer system, citing slow systems and needing the latest and greatest to get their work done that magically gets done anyways. That brings us to the user at the center of my story today. This happened just after Apple released the latest MacBook Pros with the atrocious touch bar and butterfly keyboard that I loathe. Naturally, we get a dozen or so requests in the next day, all of which are marked with the same response: request denied. Your machine is within our lifespan and still under warranty. Both PC and Macs have a 4-year lifespan. When the lifespan expires, we upgrade as inventory allows. Naturally, we get a few users who show up and try to plead their case in person, and I turn them away. Then I get our specific users who won't take a no for an answer. We'll call him Mike. Mike is a diva. Mike will always get to the bat for himself, prop himself up, and complain every step of the way. He's a good developer, but he's not as good as he says, according to the guys who work with him. For some reason, Mike looked at the touch bar MacBook and determined he had to have it. Mike puts in a ticket like everyone else, going on and on about how the touch bar functionality is suddenly vital to his job. Spoiler, it isn't, and he should be able to order one. Request denied. Your machine is within our lifespan and still under warranty. Copy, paste, close. Mike was in my office within 10 minutes. Mike, help desk hero. Why did you reject my ticket? Because your machine is only 2 years old, you don't need a new one. Mike, but my machine has been really slow the last month, and I think I should get an upgrade. Where's your ticket for that slow system? Mike, I'm too busy to deal with your ticketing system. Well, then I can't help you if I don't know where there is a problem. Mike stormed out of the office, more whining. I wasn't stupid, though he wasn't going to give up. I went ahead and reopened his request ticket and updated with our conversation in my office. See ya, everyone. A week later, a ticket comes in. MacBook has a broken screen. Yep, it was Mike. Mike included a picture of the broken screen in the ticket to help me out, of course. Sure enough, half the screen was unusable. Before I can even reach out to him, he's in my office with the MacBook. He's doing his best to look upset. So, how did it break, Mike? I'm not sure. I walked away for a little bit to use the bathroom, came back and it was broken. Screens don't just blow up like this, Mike. Something had to have happened. Mike, I don't know what had happened, help desk hero. It wasn't my hill to die on just yet, but I told him to give me a bit to see what our Apple Care coverage included. He disappeared as I pulled it up, confirming that we got a discount on accidental damage, but it wasn't fully covered. Just about everything else was. A quick call to Apple Enterprise Support confirmed it wasn't going to be cheap to replace, somewhere around $700 with our discount. I go to my boss and tell him the whole situation. Of course, I can't prove he was the one that broke the screen, and he's going to at least need a loaner before we decided what to do. Boss, what do we have in inventory? We're pretty tight right now, just a couple available. We have a pending quote for our restock with the new models. Boss, do you have any other machines? Before I answered, it dawned on me. We still had older MacBooks. You know, the really fat ones with the disk drive still in them. The ones that at this point were about 6 years old and we kept for emergencies. Boss had the same idea and we both shared a laugh. Boss, Go get one of the Fat Macs, image that, and don't tell him it's just a loaner. Let's let him sweat. Mike came back for not long after, and I told him that we were still deciding what to do about his machine, but I would at least give him a loaner for the time being. Mike somehow twisted this around into hearing that he was getting a new machine. Mike: okay, when you order a new one, I need more than 16 gigs of memory, I need 32 gigs and a stronger processor. Oh, and a 1TB SSD. Thanks, help desk hero. Before I could even break the news to him, he was gone. Oh hell no. You did not just do that. I took great pride in imaging that fat MacBook. I got everything ready for it and messaged him that the loaner was ready for pickup. He came upstairs and almost fainted when he saw his temporary machine. Mike: I can't use this. Yes you can, log in. Mike: this machine is so old. But it has a fresh image on it, so it should run faster than your older machine, right? After going through his setup, he stormed out of the office. It wasn't long before his boss showed up, wanting to know what the hell was going on. After a quick explanation and showing him the broken MacBook, he just sighed and shrugged. He asked if we were going to give him a new machine. I told him he wasn't getting rewarded for breaking a company's asset, but I would get a replacement that matched the one he broke. His boss agreed and let it die. Apple got the repair done pretty fast, and I messaged Mike to come pick it up. He was in my office so fast, ready to throw the fat MacBook out of the window. Much to his disappointment and my delight, he saw his old machine ready to go with a brand new screen. Mike: but that's my old machine. Yes, Apple got the repair done pretty fast. All your data was saved, so you can do a quick swap. Mike: but that's not what I requested. And your request was denied. That didn't change. Mike took the machine and left. I wiped the old machine and tucked it away. A couple of weeks later, we got a shipment of new MacBooks in, but didn't tell anyone about it. Around that time, a ticket came in for new users to join the same team Mike was on. I made sure those new users got 2 shiny new MacBooks because I am that petty. After they went through their setup, they made their way to the area they worked. A few minutes later, a ticket came in. Yes, it was from Mike. New employees have updated MacBooks on our team. I feel I should have one as well as a senior employee. I shrugged. Request denied. Your machine is within our lifespan and still under warranty. Copy, paste, close. Unlimited replacement iPhones? Not. This story revolves around the site manager at a smaller site out of town. You know the type that I'm talking about. He is the king of a small hill, and it is critically important that he has the latest and greatest everything, including his iPhone. Now, our company policy is that you can ask that your company-owned iPhone gets replaced every 2 years. But that is not good enough for our king of the small anthill. Manager: I need to replace my iPhone. What's wrong with it? Nothing. I just want it replaced with a new model that just came out. Me: check his recent upgrade date. He just joined the company last year, so of course we got him a brand new one 9 months ago. I'm sorry, we have issued you a new phone 9 months ago, and we only upgrade iPhones every 2 years. I will send you a copy of the policy if you wish to take it up with your boss. So I basically sent him the employee handbook and list the page number and section of the phone policy. This might have been a bad move. Fast forward 2 weeks later. Manager: I need to replace my phone, and I just opened up a help desk ticket. Manager, we just went over this. We cannot replace your phone. You don't understand. It is damaged. I accidentally dropped it. Me: oh well, that is different. Policy states that the company will replace an accidentally damaged phone one time for the employee with regional manager's approval. Manager: yes, and before you ask, I have already talked to the regional manager and he has approved the replacement. I am forwarding you his email. Well, now that was odd of him to give me everything I need abiding by the very letter of the policy. Awfully suspicious. I document everything. We buy him the new iPhone model. Fast forward about 45 days. Manager: I need to replace my phone and I just opened a help desk ticket. Wait, what? You just got a new phone? Yeah, I know, I was walking through the rain and ran through the rain coming off the building in buckets and got the phone wet. Hehe, come to find out, for the second breakage of an iPhone the employee is required to 1. pay for half of the iPhone replacement cost. That is like $500 out of his own pocket. And 2, add insurance to their phone that they reimburse the company for every month. In the event of it happening a third time, there will at least be insurance on the phone to handle the issue. He hit the roof when corporate HR called him directly with the news and set up his paycheck withdrawal. That was about 2 years ago, and he has never broken one or asked for a replacement yet. Why won't it stay on? Strap yourself in for the background. I am a woman in the tech field and just so happen to go by my last name. So if you worked for the big box company but weren't in my store, you probably wouldn't know my gender. This is important. Due to circumstances, we ended getting a new manager from another store out of state. His first day was on my day off. My co-workers told me he wanted 2 hours with each of us to learn our thoughts on diagnosing issues, and he was really eager to learn from us. He was especially interested to learn from the top tech who he heard about in his previous store, me, until he learned I was a woman. I won't go into details here, but his face fell when he met with me for the first time. He went from wanting to meet me and learn from me to ignoring me or at the worst talk down to me at times. Fun. Manager got it in his head that he was going to do something to prove he knew his stuff, so when a customer came in wanting a custom built computer, which we weren't supposed to do, he grabbed the opportunity. He helped the guy pick out the parts, compare prices, and sold him the labor to put it all together. He also told me he was going to build it in my repair space, taking away a whole bench in the process from me. And he was doing this alone. And I will never forget this. Don't tell me how to do this. Let me learn. Oh, I will. Cue the manager putting this machine together on the bench behind me while I continued my work. Just waiting. Manager has it together, hits the power switch, computer turns on, then off, then on, then off. He unplugs, then takes it apart, then together again, same result. As someone who put together a lot of computers, I know it's something to do with processor right away based on the power cycle, because a tech I know is good helped him install the parts. I know they are in right. I also glanced at the box, which had the socket of the mobile listed as compatible, so there's only one option left after that, so I can hear the wheels turning behind me. But he told me not to give him advice, so I keep working with my mouth shut, let him ask me when he's good and ready. He then believes parts must be bad, so he has the customer send parts back, wait for the new ones, then try again, same result. This continues for 2 months. He has a customer who is obviously very angry at this point, send every single part back. Then have a whole new set of parts delivered. He has promised the customer this is the last time. This time it will work. He definitely knows what he's doing. The day arrives where the customer brings in the parts. The manager is there, I'm there. I stop repairing computers as he puts the final part in, and I lean against my bench to watch what is about to happen. How could I not? He hits the power, same result. He is furious. He throws the screwdriver across the bench, denting the wall, and curses so loudly I am sure a customer heard. He puts his hand on either side of the machine, head down, shoulders slumped, utterly defeated. In a quiet, oh so quiet voice, he asks, OP, what's wrong with it? Me. The motherboard and processor aren't compatible without a BIOS update. Manager, how long have you known this? Me, since you first turned it on 2 months ago. He turns. He is red in the face, veins are bulging, and I'm pretty sure he thought about decking me for a second before composing himself with a very, very deep breath. Manager, why didn't you say anything then? Me smiling sweetly, because you told me not to, and to let you learn. So, have you learned? He stormed off and out of the store. He ended up taking 2 personal days, and I ended up building a new PC that actually worked without having to ship in a new CPU just to install the update. Customer was cool once I explained everything. I showed them how a cable managed to allow the best cooling and looks with their clear case. It became the legendary story to tell all new techs. Not only as a cautionary tale, always ask for help, but also as a fun jab at management who seldom understand tech. So those were the stories for today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories in the comments below. As usual, please like if you enjoy these stories and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on more future videos. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.